So in this video, what I'm going to cover is actually setting up your charts on MT4. So I just went to a random broker's page and I noticed they do have a download MT4 link here on the front page. So you really just click that link and what will happen is it'll download right into your tray. And then you're going to proceed to go ahead and install the software from there. I've already kind of done that process. It's really just, you go ahead and click yes, and then it's going to come here to this window, say yes, I do understand the terms and agreement, and then you click on that to finish that process. Now I'm going to go ahead and cancel that since we've already actually done the install, but that's really all it is. Once this window gets done, it's going to say finish at the bottom, and then you actually just go ahead and finish the installation, and then you'll be able to find the software here on your menu. Now I'm working in Windows 10. Most of you probably are working in Windows 10 by now. You may still have Windows 8 or something like that, but I'm definitely working in Windows 10. So let's go ahead and click on the MetaTrader software, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get that to open for us here. First time, it might take just a few minutes to do that, but it should open in time. There we go. All right, so this is what it's going to look like, your MT4, and pretty much across the board with whatever broker you go with, this is what your MT4 is going to look like. So you can select, it's going to say open an account. So we're actually going to do a demo account. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. We're going to say a new demo account. If you have an existing trade account, like a live trade account, you would have chosen the other option for live account, and then you would put your information in, your login and password for your live account that your broker provides for you. But here we're going to do a new demo account, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. A lot of brokers don't allow you to do like a new demo account or a real account from here anymore, but we're going to see. We're going to see if this one allows us to do that. And then I'm just going to put in some random numbers there. We're going to say a deposit. We can leave it at 50,000, or you can change it to whatever number that you want to do. If it's closer, I'd rather have you have it closer to what you're going to deposit. It looks like the lowest amount is 3,000, so I'll go with that. They do give you your leverage options. You can actually select 1 to 50 on this one, which is great because that is the leverage, or even 1 to 100. I wouldn't go any higher than really 1 to 100 because those are leverages that are going to help you keep your account in a good place where you're not burning the account out. It's going to help you not over trade the account so much. If you're up here around 1 to 1,000, you're going to be able to take more trades. And if you're an avid trader, or if you don't really have the self-discipline or self-control right away, you may actually select that leverage. And it may be detrimental to your trading because you're going to be over trading, and then one bad night in the market and all of your money could be gone. So I really don't like that. So I'll stick it at say 100 to 1. Or 50 to 1. If you wanted to subscribe to the newsletters, you can. I'll definitely hit on that. Doesn't really matter. The account type is going to be a US dollar account, an ECN. This one, a lot of them have different ones. You can have a fixed account, variable accounts, ECN accounts. I'm just going to select the top one because this is just a demo for us to get in. And I'm going to go ahead and click next. It's going to give me a login and password here. Typically, what I like to do is take a screenshot of that and just keep that in a safe place, or write that login and password down so that you'll be able to get into the MT4 software. Now, it also has an investor password, which is read-only. So if someone else was looking at your account or they wanted to look at it, you could actually give them an investor password where they can actually log into it, look at it, but not be able to do anything. They won't be able to place any trades or anything like that. It's all read-only. So that's another feature that's there as well. So let me go ahead and click finish. And now we're logged in. You hear the sound from the computer showing that we are logged in. We see that we're getting some information coming into the system now. We've got our data feed kind of going here. We've got our market watch. We've got our navigator here on the side showing our demo account here and the account number. We see that our connection is there as well. We got numbers on both sides, but they're actually kind of small right now. So that's That's something that we'll watch for to make sure that we get a little more speed on our data. You'll notice that it does come up with 4 charts. Pretty much every broker MT4 software will come up and look like this. If you double click on any one of these windows, it's just like a regular Windows window. When you click on it, it'll expand. You can double click, or you can double click down here on the tab and it'll take you back to those 4 different charts. So it's really depends on how you want to see your charts. What I typically do is I'll go ahead and close all of these out, because I want to start building from scratch. I want to start building my charts from scratch. And the first thing I do is I look over here on the market watch, see what's there. There are very few currencies here, so I'm going to right click in this box. I'm going to click show all, and it's going to show me the rest of the currency pairs. I start with the Aussie CAD because that's the first one. And as you see, I right clicked on that, I hit chart window, and this is what I got. It defaults to the 1 hour chart. So if you're going to be using a different chart time frame, then you want to go ahead and set that too. You'll need to set that for each and every chart that you open. So that's really simple, and that's really simple and easy to do. What I like to do is I like to use a template, and most of my charts all have the same setup. So instead of actually doing each one individually, what I'm going to do is set the first one up, and then I will take those parameters, save them as a template, and then when I open my new chart, I'll add the template, and everything that I've set up on this chart will appear on that one. So it makes it really easy to kind of go through the other 20 or so charts that you're going to deal with. The first thing I do is, because I don't like the background and all of that, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll right click on the chart, and I'll go down to properties. I noticed too, this is a bar chart. I want a candlestick chart as well. So we're going to change that as well. So I can change the background. I typically change the background to a white, because I like a lighter background. I changed the foreground to black because that's going to be the letters and any words that are on the screen and the pricing and all that, so that you can see it in contrast to the white background. I don't particularly like a grid, but you can leave it on there. You can see that there's a grid. If you're using the breakout bounce strategy, you might want to leave it on there. If not, then you can actually go ahead and say none, and that'll take off the grid. My bar up and my bar down, I'm going to use black because I like that as the outline for my candles. And then for the bull candle, I'm going to change that to green, or like a chartreuse or a green, like some kind of light green. And then my bear candle, I want it to be red. So when candles are going up, or it's a bull candle, I want it green. If it's going down, then I want to see red. The line graph, all of that other stuff can stay the same. I like it just like it is. If I go over here to common, I can select a couple of things. I can actually select my candlestick chart here, or I can select it up here. So that's really easy. If I want to see the ask price line on the chart, I can select this as well. You don't have to. That's something that you can select. Also, the chart shift, that means that you see how the chart goes all the way to the end over here. Some people don't like that. I like it actually shifted over a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and click chart shift here, and that should shift the end of the chart to around, maybe 80% or 90% of the way, so that it's not butted right up against the edge there. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to hit my little zoom button here. And that's pretty much my chart. Now, if I wanted to add things to it, like we talked about looking at the trend. So let's do that real quick. Let's insert an indicator. We'll put on some moving averages here. We're going to go with our 21 since it's already red. I normally have a red. I'm going to change this to exponential. Go ahead and put OK. And then I'm going to add a 200. And this is just so you can see how this works. It's indicators, trend, moving average. I'll put on a 200. Normally that's going to be in gold color for me. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click OK. Now we see that we've got both of those moving averages. So that's really, really cool. Another thing that I can do, I showed you this a little bit before, their indicators are also listed over here. So if I wanted a MACD oscillator, I'd click on the indicators, go to oscillators, go to MACD, drag that to my chart, I want to leave the settings the same as they are. I'll click OK, and there's my MACD at the bottom of the chart. Now these windows can close. I can close this, I can close that. If I want to, I can actually get that market watch back here if I need to. You see down here at the bottom, we've got our terminal going. You can click view and go down to terminal, and it's going to bring up this window, which will show you your balance, your equity, and your free margin. Remember, those are the things that we talked about in our lectures previously. So you got balance, equity, and your free margin. Now, this chart, I'm not going to add a whole lot more to it. It's just for just for the sake of showing you how the chart is actually set up and the things that you can do. I'm going to go ahead and right click on this chart. I'm going to go down to template, hit save template, and I'm going to give the template a name. I'm going to go test. Okay, that's easy enough. I'll put in test. Perfect. Now the next chart would be in Australian dollar yen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to go to chart window. And the next chart, you'll notice that the tab for the Aussie CAD is here. And here's the Aussie yen. So I do it in alphabetical order so that they fall in order and I don't have to be switching these around. You can move these around. You can just slide them past each other. But I like to just set it up in order. And now that I've got the chart window again, you notice that it's on the 1 hour again. That's pretty much standard. It's got the black background and everything I don't want. So I'm going to right click on it. I go to template. I'm going to select test from that list. And automatically I have everything that I had on my Aussie CAD. So if I'm running one particular strategy, I can set this up really, really quickly just by setting up one and setting up a template. So that's how it goes, and then I would just go on from there. So you just go down the list of the pairs, and now you have access to Udemy where the lessons are at. If you go back to the currency pairs and you see each one, you just go down that list. I put them in alphabetical order on that list, I believe, as well. So in the order that we put them on the chart. So you just go down that list, right click on your market watch, select a chart window, right click on that chart window, go to template and set your template. It's very, 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 very simple. So that's really what you'll need. Now, of course, there are other things that you can do. There are a myriad of other things, and that's why I wanted you to kind of play around with the software itself. Just get familiar with where things are at and how things work. It's very cool software. Not something too hard to use. You got your order button here, just like normal. You can place your pending orders here, your buy stops, limits that you need depending on what type of order you're placing and where your rate is at that current time. You want to be careful of this volume because this volume right now is 1.00. That's a big trade. That's going to be a big trade for you. That's going to cover probably $100,000. You don't want to be trading that. You want to change this down to 0.01 or 0.02, just depending on where you're trading. This is a demo count, so you can play with that. But when you place a trade at, like, say, this 1.0, you're going to see your free margin down here really drop. So that's going to be really important for you to actually play with it, find out, okay, how much money am I going to have in my account? And for every $50, I can do 0.01. At the leverage that we're at, maybe 0.01, maybe 0.02 at the max. So that's where you would place your orders. If you're doing auto trading, like if you set up auto trading with us and you're using, say, the price reversal strategy auto trading, then we would actually click this button to turn that on. Other than that, it doesn't need to be on. If we set you up with the trade manager where it's going to manage the trade after you enter and set your entries and all that, then you will need this auto trade on. It needs to be on. It needs to turn green here, and whatever expert advisor that you're running, should have a title here in the upper right hand corner of your chart, and it'll turn from a frown face to a smiley face, and that's how you'll know that it's actually running. So that's pretty much the platform and how I actually go about setting it up. Hopefully you gained a lot from watching this video. And if you have questions, definitely feel free to contact me. I also am available to help you get things set up according to what you need for your trading as well. Okay.